Hello guys, welcome back to the next tutorial. In this one we're going to take a look at the order of precedence for Boolean operators. So let's quickly get started. Open up the PyCharm. So here's the last lecture where we talked about the Boolean operators, and in this one let's talk about how they are evaluated when we have all of them, right? So currently we were only looking at one Boolean operator, that and is there, right? And or is there, not is there. What if we have an expression which involves all the Boolean operators at the same time? Then how are they going to be evaluated, right? So let's talk about them. They aren't just evaluated from left to right. They are not evaluated from left to right. So they have a different precedence order, and the order is this one that I mentioned here. Not is evaluated first, and is evaluated after that, or is evaluated at the last. So let's take an example. So Boolean and output. Let's do this. So if I have an expression something like true, and then I'm mentioning or, basically true is could be an output of some expression, right? So I'm just mentioning true right now, or not false. So true is there and not is there before false, or is there, right? And let's put and false. So can you imagine what's going to be the output of this? So what's going to be, if I am going to be printing the bool output, what's going to be the output? So it looks like, as per the records, when it says not is evaluated first, then not is going to be evaluated first, which is going to be not false. So this one is going to be turned into true. So let's put into comment. So first thing I'm writing is this one is going to be true, right? And is evaluated next. So true and false is false. We saw it, right? True and false is false. So this one after that is going to be changed to false. Last what we are left with is true or, and the output of this is false, right? True or false is true, right? Because true or false is true. This is an or operator, right? So that's how it gets evaluated. So let's print it out and let's see what's gonna happen. Here we go. We get a true, right? So I just wanted to show you the order of precedence for Boolean operators. So this is just an example, right? So you know what? Maybe for some other, let's say Boolean output and 1, maybe. Let's put something. So let's put a true condition. True condition is 10 equals to 10, and then let's put or not false, right? So false is 10 is greater than 10, and let's put a not before it, right? And false and false. So false condition is again 10 is greater than 10. So this is a kind of expression that we defined above, right? So the first one is 10 equals to 10 evaluates to true, or not false. 10 is greater than 10, which is false, and false. 10 is greater than 10 again is false. So let's print this one out. Print bool output 1, and let's see. So we should get this one as true, right? So that's what I meant when I wrote this, that these are again the output of some expressions, right? Right. So this is pretty easy, and I think you might have got it, right? This is quite simple. There's one more thing that we can make sure. If we kind of surround these things with parentheses, then our expressions will be evaluated in the order we want. So parentheses kind of make sure the order. So let's say if I do this, let's say if I put this expression like this. So right now what I'm doing is I'm making this whole thing as one expression, right? So previously what was happening is after the evaluation of this not, it was going to and, right? So the first one is this is false, not of false is true. I know it could be confusing, but just pay attention, guys. So 10 is greater than 10 is false, right? But not of false is true. And then previously it was going to and, because and is evaluated, right? Second. So not of false is true. True and false. This one is false. 10 is greater than 10 is false, right? True and false was false, right? And then lastly was evaluated this way, that this is true or false, it was true. Now what we are doing with parenthesis is that we are making this as expression. We are just willing to do that we want this one to be evaluated first, and then lastly whatever the output of this expression is, then evaluated with this n. So let's guess the output this time. 10 equals to 10 is true, so let's write it out. So true, right? And then we have what? We have not, but after the or, not 10 is greater than 10. So this one is false, and not of false is true, right? And true or true, basically true or true is going to be true, right? And then we have an expression with and this is false. 10 is greater than 10, right? So which is false? So true and false is going to be finally false, because true and false is false, right? This is an and operation, right? So if you guys see, we had an output previously true, now we have the final output as false. So what we did is we just changed the order by putting the parenthesis. We are now controlling that we want this to be evaluated first and later something else. So we are controlling with the parenthesis. Now if I print this thing out, let's see if we are right. So let's run this code, and here you go, false, right? So the first one was true and the second one is false. So here we can control the expressions by using parentheses. So that's what I wanted to show you guys in this tutorial. Just wanted to keep it pretty short and sweet and simple, so you guys know how the Boolean operators perform and what's the order of precedence with them. So not and or is the order of precedence, and then we can control them using our parentheses. So always keep that in mind and practice a lot. As I always say, practice is the only way to learn. So practice guys, and come back to me if you have any questions. Stay tuned for the next lectures guys. Thanks for ending this one.